Without football?
Yeah, not the same.
It makes for a longer go of it.
The week is long.
The week is long.
The week feels so long. Yeah, it does make for a longer go of it. Like last night, Thursday nights, I've been, that's because of the Kevin Stefanski show. That would be Miss K's night to cook in the homestead, and I've said let's just keep that running.
Yeah,
let's keep running.
She's always bringing innovative dishes.
Oh, last night Korean barbecue tacos that were just delightful.
What a treat!
I mean, it was a real treat.
That's a real treat.
It was. Got to get some of that gochujang paste or where I don't even know how you pronounce it, but we got some of that. Tracked that down, and it was dynamite. Sensational. It's got a lot of treats. I did take, just so you know, quick update for you. I couldn't
resist.
Patience,
it's not part of your nature.
Patience, not my strongest suit.
No, it's not part of your
nature.
nature.
So I did pour maybe a shot's worth over a couple of ice cubes yesterday. The flavor is already in there, and it's already hot. And we're talking 24 hours later.
It's hot, spicy.
Oh yeah.
So we ate too many habaneros.
Well, I enjoyed it, but I mean it's there. Like it is. Nobody would be wondering if there were habaneros in this tequila.
I wonder if the sweet spot then is a 3-to-1, because you did 2 habaneros.
I did.
And you did some seeds. So I wonder for a terrestrial human if you're talking about more of a habanero.
I'm extra, apparently.
Right, you are. You're extraordinary in many ways. I'm wondering if the key there is a habanero.
I don't think it's good. You'll taste it. I don't think you're going to say it's too much. The pineapple is right on. Like
the pineapple, you crushed. You had the feel for it. You did not go over ripe. It's not.
No.
It's a sturdy pineapple chunk that's in there. You're getting a nice flavor there.
And you've got that. And you've got the hint. It tastes like you're drinking the salsa from Mexico, which to me is a win.
That's what you're going for. Do you want the heat to be – do you want it to be a hot beverage or do you want a hint of heat?
I would like you to be like, oh, there's some heat here, but not like, oh my God, I can't. Like it wasn't on my lips. It wasn't there yet. But in a month,
it's going to be.
It might be.
It probably will be.
We'll see.
If you're eliciting that type of heat now at this port,
it's enough for me to
fermentation.
Notice.
Then I think you're probably headed for an aggressive heat in a month.
Yeah, you're gonna need some ice. Maybe you're gonna need a little ice cream on standby.
I like it. I like that you go ice cream, too. So many people want to go with the milk. Why?
It's gross.
It's terrible. Terrible. Yeah, go with the ice cream to do that.
Yeah, get a little. You know what you have on standby in a situation like this is there's some delicious ice creams out there, but one is there's a churro flavored ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Jenny's does that. Jenny's ice cream does that.
Boy, do they.
Yeah.
And it's a real treat.
Yeah. That's a remarkable story. Jenny's ice cream.
Great story.
Yeah, it's a good job out of her.
And there's good stuff. Brambleberry, right now, Brambleberry Crisp is currently in the house.
That doesn't even seem like that should be fair. That's so good.
It is so good.
Brambleberry is too good.
It is.
It's too good. You can't get it. You can't be in.
I've never even seen a Brambleberry.
I don't even know what one is.
Me neither.
I have no clue.
I think it's made up.
But it's delicious.
Yeah, it's like a schnozberry from Wonka.
I like where your head's at.
By the way, we're being told, folks in the back, we're being told that the official Nana of the show said we were on the video and now we're gone.
Hate to see it.
So I don't know if that's true or not.
You hate to see it.
But we're seeing
it's glorified babysitting back there, Baco.
That's all it is.
That's all you're doing.
No, Baco wouldn't subscribe to that theory. We're good. All right.
No, we're good.
Nana,
all right.
Get it together on your end.
It's your internet. Come on, Nana.
She said we're back.
We're back. There you go.
Did you guys do anything, or was this? Didn't think so. All right. She's in her 70s. Take it easy.
She's an angel.
She's an angel. That's right.
All right. So here's what you got to look forward to. You got scores. You got over-unders. You're going to get some Sam Monson coming up next.
Oh, yeah.
It's decision day.
We're right out of the gate.
And we're right back to it.
And apparently Gibbe.
I guess Gibbe. I can't confirm, though, because I haven't heard from him.
Katie's decision, the scores, Baco Nation updates, potentially Gibbe in the continuation of over-under that maybe isn't necessary, but we'll do it because it's fun. We want Chesty Gibbe to prevail ultimately. He rejected a nice rolled-out red carpet to
Everybody
to
needs
his chestiness.
a Chesty Gibbe.
Well, that's what we were trying to do.
That's what we were trying to do was provide the chestiness.
And instead, he's feeding clover to his cows.
Sad. Can't do that. You know how that turns out.
Gassy messes.
Sam Monson of PFF coming up next. Off and running Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.
You guys are down.
Well, the weather's cold outside. Would a nice hot bath or shower feel amazing? Why not transform your bath or shower into a custom bath that's going to feel like a spa? Let the Bath Authority make this a reality for you at a fraction of the cost of the competitors. The Bath Authority is Cleveland's premier bath and shower remodeler with expert factory-trained installers. Call now for $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. Call 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com, where affordability meets quality. It's the largest selection of bath projects, all made in the United States. Change your bathroom from outdated to outstanding. Acrylic tubs that insulate, keep the heat in. Tub to shower conversions, they got it all. They'll take care of you, I promise you. Superior products with expert installers at thebathauthority.com. Check them out. Now, time to head on the hotline for visitor good buddy Sam Monson. PFF, Sam, thanks for the time, pal. We just saw the AP All-Pro teams come out. I know you guys did that as well. A couple of our guys made it, Miles and Joel. Just let's start there, I guess, from the Browns' perspective. From your vantage point, who performed above maybe what was expected, and who had a season that really caught your eye?
Myles Garrett is an interesting one because we said heading into the season that Garrett has kind of put together a couple of years' worth of play now where he's been playing at a Defensive Player of the Year, first-team All-Pro kind of level, but not for a full season. You know, obviously the first one was getting himself suspended for half the year with the Mason Rudolph incident. The second one was kind of catching COVID and not being the same guy down the stretch as he was the first half. And we were saying if he puts together a full schedule, that's that kind of caliber player. And I think he really did that. Now, he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year for us, and I assume won't for the NFL because he just didn't have quite the same collection of box score stats that the NFL would want, and for us was outstripped just a little bit by Aaron Donald in particular. But I think he does deserve a spot as a first-team All-Pro. His pressure rate, his ability to just impact the passer was huge, and not necessarily even impact the passer, but beat his blocker. You know, that's the job of a pass rusher, is to beat the guy trying to block you at quarterback. Whether or not you make it there is almost always dependent on things outside of your control, whether it's the ball coming out, whether it's the play design, all kinds of things. But your job is to beat the guy trying to block you and start to get in on the quarterback. And Garrett did that about as well as anybody in the NFL this year.
Sam, who's somebody that take the Browns out of it, or maybe there was somebody on the Browns, but when you were going through whose numbers in your grading, far surpassed what maybe the national perception of them is, and that somebody that you would say going into next year, you're looking to kind of get that notoriety?
It's funny because I was just talking to somebody at PFF about this. It used to be, we were a small enough entity that the All-Pro team would happen and we could rail against it because they got it so wrong. Everybody that they had was grading terribly. They were nowhere in the play-by-play analysis of their game, and you could just sort of point to the guys making clueless decisions and voting these guys All-Pro that didn't belong there. And now you can see the influence of PFF on the All-Pro team. There are guys there this year that I don't think would be there if PFF wasn't in existence. I don't think people would appreciate how well Devondre Campbell had played at linebacker for the Green Bay Packers this year if PFF didn't have him as the number one graded linebacker in the league for most of the season. I don't think Joe Bitonio would be there this year if PFF didn't have him as one of the best graded offensive linemen in the NFL throughout the season. He's been a very good player for years, but this is a career year for him, and I don't think that would get him there over the established names that people want to vote for on the offensive line. So it's kind of tough because now you look at it and you're like, right, what do I hate about this team? And there isn't much. You almost need to sort of pick out the individual votes where guys have kind of gone off the reservation and selected either just their favorite players or people that they knew and haven't really checked how they're playing. There's still some pretty weird votes in that, but the actual team itself is not bad.
So, Sam, I want to ask you this because we were going through the AP All-Pro team, and then I'm going through yours as well. Just curious, why only one running back, and why do you think we're still stuck at only two cornerbacks making the All-Pro team?
For us, we only have one running back in there because our offensive formation is going to be that 11 personnel type of thing that is the majority of NFL formations in the NFL at the moment. I'm not sure. The AP's process is a little bit weird, and we've reached out to them over the years and tried to help them along and sort of give them guidance in terms of that kind of thing, style, right? What is the league running? What should your formation look like? What should the team look like to best represent what the NFL is doing right now? And also, where should you designate players? Like a Micah Parsons.
Sure.
Where did he play the most this year? All those kinds of things. But they do their own thing. And so I'm not 100% sure why they do the team the way they do it. We deviate a little bit on defense this year because we've usually run a sort of a 5 defensive back type of defense, and we've had that 5th defensive back be a kind of flex position, which can be either a safety or a corner, whoever's the most deserving player that year. This year we broadened that 5th spot to anywhere to be able to get Micah Parsons in the team, essentially.
Yep.
Parsons was a defensive player of the year candidate. He's definitely an all-pro player, but I don't think he deserves it at either spot that he played in, whether it's linebacker or edge rusher. I think either one alone, you wouldn't put him there above guys like T.J. Watt or Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. But when you look at him as a unique kind of multi-position player, he absolutely deserves to be on the team. So we kind of shoehorned him in there as just a general flex defender.
It's very interesting. I wanted to go back to something you said about Aaron Donald and Miles, and my guess is it'll probably end up being T.J. Watt will be the MVP, the defensive player of the year is the way that thing will probably go. But in terms of Aaron Donald's year in, year out, and like what Miles is chasing, like he talks about winning defensive player of the year, and he certainly has a talent for that and the play to that. But the level that Aaron Donald plays at, from your guys' perspective, and I think for most people who follow the league closely, is there any precedent for it?
No. I think you can make it a case that Aaron Donald should be working on 6 straight defensive player of the years at this point. The only reason he's not getting them is, I think, a combination of voter fatigue, that nobody wants to give a guy 6 straight defensive player of the year awards, and the fact that he's now being judged against himself, not against everybody else. So Aaron Donald that 1 year threatened the sack record, and now that's the benchmark for Aaron Donald. Yeah. So if he just has a quote-unquote normal season with like 15 sacks as an interior defender, which, by the way, in itself is insane. Interior defenders are not supposed to be getting 15 sacks and leading the league in pressures. That's reserved for edge rushers who operate in more space, and the quarterback doesn't see them coming half the time. Those are the guys that are supposed to get those huge numbers. So for Aaron Donald to ever be in that vicinity is madness. But now he gets judged against the year where we saw him have 100 pressures and threaten the sack record, and that's what he's being compared against, rather than, well, look, that's irrelevant. That was years ago. Now you're just saying, is what he's doing better than Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt and the other candidates for Defensive Player of the Year? And with every single season, at the very minimum, it's comparable, and I think you can definitely make the case he's been better in all of those years.
An incredible group of talent, certainly in the NFL, and Aaron Donald stands above all of them and has for a very long time. His longevity is impressive as what he's been able to do on the field. All right, let's turn our attention towards the playoffs. What are you excited for this weekend?
Most of the games, actually. I think it's a really fun playoff slate. I think one of the advantages of the NFL being so chaotic this year, and all those conversations about who are the best teams, who are the teams that are distancing themselves from everybody, and it never really happened. This is the advantage of that, is now you hit the postseason, those teams all have to play each other, and there's almost no game where you look at it and say, this is a complete slam dunk. It's only going to go one way. I think the only game this weekend where that is a reality is that Kansas City-Pittsburgh game, where the Steelers, weren't really supposed to be in the playoffs. They didn't expect to be there themselves, and they accidentally backed in because of that crazy Jacksonville Indianapolis result, and all of a sudden we're getting a repeat of a game that happened a few weeks ago and was never really in doubt.
Sam, you're down there in Cincinnati. What's the excitement level? They haven't won a playoff game since '91. The Bengals haven't, of course. The last 2 times we saw them at full throat, they were as good as anybody in the league offensively. 4:30 on Saturday seems like the perfect all-day tailgate situation. What's the temperature like down there?
Yeah, the excitement level is real. I think this is different to the past where, they made the playoffs before with Andy Dalton at quarterback, but there's belief now. It's different with Joe Burrow because I think we've seen a ceiling that was never really there with Dalton as the quarterback. Joe Burrow has looked absolutely phenomenal this season, coming off that knee injury that threatened to change his career. Like, this was not a routine knee injury. This was something that was potentially damaging to what he was going to be in the NFL. It didn't just come back, but came back better than ever. And the more they've given him responsibility, the more they put the ball in his hands and said, just go do what you do, the better this team has been. So I think there's real excitement about what Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and all those offensive weapons can achieve. And, yeah, this is the first time we're going to see it in the postseason.
Do you worry for that team, and this is something I've been curious about. And by the way, just so people are aware, Burrow, second team PFF All-Pro, Mixon, second team PFF All-Pro, Chase, second team PFF All-Pro. They're all under 25. They're all in our division. We are going to have to contend with them for quite some time. It's not a great scenario. It is a bit of a problem. But, I was always curious. We talk about, teams that rest guys and the impact that has in a playoff game. And I think we all go back to thinking about the Colts when they would do it, and then they'd be the 1 seed and end up, losing early in the playoffs, whether that's fact or anecdotal at this point, I don't even remember. But what do you think about teams that rest guys and how quickly they're able to re-get that going? Because the Bengals were so hot, and I wonder, had Burrow not hurt his knee at the end of that game, do they make this decision or not? But they were so hot coming into it. How does that week off change things for you?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal either way. The only time I think it might be questionable is if you already have the bye, and all of a sudden you're talking about 2 weeks without playing a game rather than one. If you think about it like a bye week, the bye week is typically good to NFL teams. They get an extra week to prepare. They are, generally speaking, better coming out of the bye because of that extra week off, to rest up, to get healthy, and to be able to prepare for your opponent better. Now, it's skewed a little bit because, generally speaking, you're not playing a team that's coming off a bye as well. And that could be the case in the postseason if your opposition rested guys as well. But I think it is a good thing, particularly for the Bengals with Burrow, who did have that injury to make sure they wanted to get him healthy. I don't think it's a massive concern. It's definitely – the Bengals are an interesting case study because, like you said, they were absolutely on fire. And they're a team that really wouldn't have wanted to upset that apple cart because of how well they were going. But I think generally, there's no evidence that says it's a bad idea to rest up, to get everybody healthy for 1 week.
All right, Sam, last one, and appreciate the time. So this is something Kurt Warner tweeted out earlier today, and Beau, as soon as I start reading this, you're going to say, oh, yeah, you share a similar opinion to Kurt Warner. He said, hey, Barstool Big Cat, listen to all the players saying they hate playing in crappy weather. We hate it. We want perfect temps so we can just go out and play our best ball. Let's keep it going. Hashtag dome everything. Hashtag sign the petition. So 2 things. One, where do you stand? Don't you think it'd be great if – or I don't want to lead anything. Where do you stand? I know, I'm trying to not. What do you feel about elements versus domes? And then taking a step further, given that you work for PFF and you guys are grading every single play and then using that to kind of judge every play throughout the course of a season to come with the grades for players, and we'll take quarterbacks, for example, how do you vary the way that you grade a play that is played in a dome versus one that is played in gale force winds versus one that is played in a rainstorm or a snowstorm at 9 degrees? Because that has to be a factor.
Yeah, well, personally, I love weather games. Then I'm not out there playing in them.
Or standing on the sideline.
It's no surprise. Right. It's no surprise that Kurt Warner, a guy who was at the helm of the greatest show on turf, is a fan of domes and indoors and perfect conditions and, the ability to fire the ball all around the field and never have to worry about the winds. That makes perfect sense. But I think weather adds entertainment from a neutral perspective and from a fan. When I was playing in Ireland years ago, the weather games are some of the most fun games we played. Now, it wasn't the best football we played, but it was fun. So I'm all for it. As for how we grade it differently, short answer is we don't. And, those are the kind of things that we want people to factor in themselves. How much do you factor in bad weather and wind to what's going on and to the grades that are going down, rather than us determine what that percentage is, we leave it up to people to decide, because there are going to be people out there that don't care, right? Football is football, play it in whatever conditions they are. That's your job. And then there are going to be other people like Kurt Warner who are saying, we want everything inside. We want perfect weather every play, and weather's a massive factor. So you decide on your own how much that should affect the grades.
Sam, you're the best, buddy.
Yes.
Thanks. And encourage you guys, check out their final offensive line rankings. Also, you did the first round. How did our guy Greg Newsome end up for you guys?
Greg Newsome was good. Greg Newsome, I think, was impressive this season. Not the best coverage numbers in the world relative to some other corners, but he was impressive and did not get beat for the big play very often. I think that's sort of step one in terms of showing some good corner play, is make sure you're not getting undressed, getting beaten for those big plays over the top, and then you can kind of pick up and raise the baseline and make sure everything else gets onto the same level.
And I saw JOK was one of your all-rookie linebackers, right? Did I see that right?
Yeah, I think so. JOK was phenomenal this year. Linebacker has become, I think, maybe the hardest position in the NFL to play these days, and certainly one of the hardest to transition into from the college level. And he's hit the ground running like few players you can think of in recent years.
Sam, you're the best. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
All right, Sam Monson, PFF. Here's the tricky thing with the dome conversation is you want natural grass.
Yeah.
So you either you have two choices. You either do the table thing that the Raiders and the Cardinals do. Is there any other way that you could, like in places where you don't have that type of real estate to do that? You'd have to talk to some. I don't know. Like, can you like a greenhouse?
I was going to say,
effect?
I would imagine with lighting and with temperature control, you should be able to create an environment inside the dome that is wonderful for grass. You should be able to put some of the lights that imitate natural sunlight, like Banana was trying to get you on.
Yeah,
for
the
your
blue
house.
light stuff. Yeah, and I wonder even with like a, even if like a greenhouse roof.
Well, that's how Minnesota is. The sun comes through in Minnesota.
Tons of natural light in Minnesota, but they don't have grass.
And
right?
why
They're
not?
Turf?
Listen, I truly think if you're building a dome nowadays, you either have to make something where the roof is, you can get through it, so you can grow your grass, you can do anything. But I do think it should be all grass everywhere, and we have grass here in Cleveland already outdoors. Or you just have a retractable that is open the majority of the time. It's only closed when you need it.
on games.
Yeah,
for
when
the
you
game, and then you close it. And those would be the way to solve it.
It's 2022. I feel like anything's possible.
I feel like it's in play.
Yeah.
Speaking of anything possible, do you see that the images going around this morning of those idiots making those robots with the human emotions on the faces? Who's asking for this? Like
listen.
We didn't learn from the Terminator.
This has been written about. There have been movies. There's been science fiction.
We've all talked
this stuff,
about it.
All about
there's
AI running amok and taking us all out. So let's just stop with all that.
Who's asking for it? I don't know. Like,
Not
what are these
me.
people at MIT, Caltech? What are you doing?
Nobody
wants it, man.
My guess is it's a military application, so you don't have to risk human lives, right?
Of course. It always starts out that way.
Of course, but then what about when they decide to run
Goes
their
amok.
own orders?
And they go amok. And then what? Schwarzenegger's getting old, man. Like, who's going to help? Who's going to save you?
Yeah.
All right. You'll hear from JOK coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
You guys are down.
I mean, that's crazy. On the injured list, we can help get you back in the game. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk and Elk, a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns, and a rare treat. Senior Swag in studio with us in the break. You don't see that very often, an in-studio visit from Senior Swag, and that is
a
real
rare
treat.
Look at him as he's
Why wouldn't
strutting
there be?
by. Look at him. I mean, and he's doing something I've never even seen before.
No one's
he's got
seen
like
it.
he's
Nobody's
got like
seen it.
on the outside what we would call like an olive like ranch shirt. I'm called now that I'm into Yellow Center. That's a ranch shirt.
It's a ranch shirt.
He's got
That's
ranch
fine.
boots on.
It's a canvas shirt, probably.
Yeah.
I think like if it was something
He had
you were
ranch
riding
gloves
through,
earlier
through
this week.
brush, it wouldn't get caught up on anything. It would just be impervious to the brush. So yeah,
there's that. And then, but underneath it, he has a beautiful blue shirt that you would wear under a suit.
a second shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 collared shirts at once.
At once.
And like it almost feels like he could, rip this one off. There could be a tie under the other one. We wouldn't even know. And he's like ready to go run the world.
He's got some Lucchese's on. Fantastic.
Duh. Winning.
Yeah.
You know what I think would be a good show for now we got Baco and Katie. This is something for your next pitch meeting in the content group. How about CBD and Jenks
Yep.
does like a modern day City Slickers? Like where we go to a ranch and get put through the paces, we broadcast from there.
Well, the only hook would be I would not be a city slicker.
No,
Like,
you're
I would
you're
be an
our
actual-
Lloyd. You're
I would
our
be
Lloyd.
Your Lloyd.
You're our
Yeah,
Lloyd.
I would be your Lloyd. Yeah.
I'd be like Jimmy.
Van. Would be like Jimmy. Be a lot of Jimmy in you. Yeah.
Listen,
I think you'd pick it up quick though. Jimmy
yeah,
picks it up quick.
Well, he doesn't know how to ride a normal horse, but he can handle a bucking bronco. It turns out.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of
by the way,
precedent for that.
I find that hard to believe that you
The
can't stand on
inability
a
to
normal horse.
Ride a normal horse, but an ability to ride a saddle bronc, as
Yeah.
it were.
Yeah.
My brother did that once. Rode a saddle bronc in the Shoto 4th of July rodeo, and
Did he make the 8 seconds?
I said, we grew up on horses. We were on them our whole lives. But I said, but this seems like an aggressive play just for fun to do this. No, he did not make the 8 seconds. Did not. But gave it a shot
And
so
emerged unscathed. Because it can
the
end
classic
poorly.
story of it is my brothers have a very adversarial relationship, my middle and youngest. And so, like, it was a big deal for everybody to try to be there because, like, they announce, and now, Cade Bishop on whatever the hell the name of the horse was.
Such a strong name, by the way.
Yeah. So my brother Tucker, who they are adversarial, was coming into the arena, was late, which is on point for him and very on brand. He was late getting in and missed.
Well, of course,
the
because
ride.
we're talking about 8 seconds.
Right, but it's like,
So,
these
and
things are
that's
very
good.
much on schedule.
Right.
Like a rodeo's on schedule. They don't get behind. Like they stay on schedule. So you knew when it was. It didn't sneak up on you.
But do you think that would be fun, though? Don't you think that would be a fun exercise?
I would love to.
Gib
So
A
you
on
get-
a horse, on a trusty steed?
I mean, we've all seen Blazing Saddles. I think that's probably the way that goes.
Jenks is, he doesn't even need to go shopping.
No, he's ready. He's ready. We could do it at either Paws Up or we could do it at the ranch at Rock Creek. Either one we could do it at.
I feel like Paws Up sounds like I'm going to be on my back, paws up, dead. So I'm going
Either
with
one
Rock
would
Creek.
be, you would be very happy. You could bring Miss K. She'd have the time of her life.
I'm in. Let's do it. What do you think, Baco? Is this a good idea? Is this an idea with merit?
We need to probably get a player or something involved with us.
Fine. I guarantee.
Yeah, in theory.
Let's get Wyatt
great
Teller.
idea,
I
but
feel like
Wyatt would be perfect.
Wyatt would
Yeah.
thrive.
as far as what we're able to do, I don't know if it's going to meet the 22 requirements. Maybe 2023. We'll get you guys out there.
Let's just start planting seeds.
Yeah, we got to start.
Listen,
now.
in Philadelphia, people were laughing. The guy's planting seeds. He's watering. Roots are growing
Look at that.
underground.
Playoff
Nobody's
team.
seeing, and now he's got a playoff plant.
He's got a plan now. As we continue our look back at Locker Cleanout Day, here's Jeremiah Wusu-Koromoa.
Yeah, Jeremiah,
You guys are down 10 minutes.
first year, what do you think that you can get better at going into your second season here?
Everything. Just to put simply, but to be more in detail, just with my ability to be able to see things faster, see plays faster, just the ability to be able to uplift my team better, to be able to get TFLs, to be able to get up the field in terms of strength and setting the edges, just really everything, tackling, making sure that I take the right angles. So I'll be doing a lot of work on the off season, and God willing, it translates.
Jeremiah, this season we talked about earlier your progression and getting you up to speed in Joe Wood's defense and him giving you a bigger menu. With this season over and you heading into year 2, How has this season with Joe Woods impacted you? How has he developed you? What ways have you seen growth heading into year 2?
Yeah. Well, he really tried to key in on my strengths just in terms of the versatility that he saw on film during college. So he really kind of tried to replicate as much as he could that kind of position and the type of scheme that, I was definitely getting well at or really progressing at. So he really did a good job trying to take my strengths and develop those. And, it's my job to be able to strengthen my weaknesses and things that I didn't necessarily do that I saw that can definitely improve.
Yeah, Jeremiah, just on your rookie year, what was your biggest takeaway? What was the most important or the biggest lesson that you learned this season?
Oh, well, I think the biggest lesson that I learned was it's not the fastest, or it's not the strongest, or it's not the really the smartest people that are successful, or smartest teams that are successful in this this business and in this league. I think anybody would agree that on paper, I mean, we're better than any of the teams that you're really seeing, in the playoffs and things like that. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But it's just those teams that can, come together as one and be a unity, and those teams that can do the right things at the right time, and those teams that have 11 people who can do the job, when it's called for. So that's the biggest lesson that I really took, just in terms of the brotherhood really matters. That's something that we really keyed in on, at Notre Dame and in college, because, it's all we got really. We're not getting paid. We're not, at least back when I was playing, we wasn't getting paid. But, that's something that I would really like see, is just this team to be a team and the brotherhood to be a brotherhood, and just a unit to be a unit. And that's the biggest thing that I really learned, just in terms of what we should look towards next year, just in terms of the unity. So
just piggybacking off what you just said, did you think that you guys were lacking in that, unity or brotherhood, and how do you get there?
Yeah, I wouldn't use the word lacking necessarily, but I would say that that's something that we just need to get better at. There's a lot of things that we need to get better at, but that's just one of the things that I would say that I took away just by my observations, just the ability for us to bond closer, and the ability for us to build that team chemistry that's needed, at a level that we would appreciate it. So,
hey, Jeremiah, I want to go back to what you were saying about what you need to work on this off season, and this second, or I guess your first real NFL off season is coming up. So I guess, what's your plan? Have you sort of mapped out what your off season is going to look like?
Yeah, my off season really will revolve around health, and that's really something that I'll key in on. How can I use the health restrictions that I have to get better, and to improve in my strength, improve in my speed, and my immunity, and the things that everything that encompasses a whole being. I think my off season will partake in really a holistic perspectives, just in terms of making sure that I get the little things, whether it's massage, whether it's cryotherapy, whether it's certain tactics, plant healing, whether it's, I'm looking at kind of like the holistic picture of my off season, and what I can do to fulfill the needs that I really need to fulfill to come back, and be the best that I can to fulfill my job. So,
hey, Jeremiah, real quick, how's the shin from yesterday?
Man, buddy kicked me something crazy yesterday. Put me out the game. But no, my shin is feeling better. Man, I got up and I was feeling a little better. But yesterday, man, I was bad. I never had nothing freaky like that happen before.
Gotcha. And then, the linebacker room could look a lot different next year. Are you ready to? And I know it'll only be year 2, but are you ready to kind of step up and be one of the main leaders in that room?
Well, I was ready this year, but in terms of just to develop and people more looking to me to be kind of that leader, I guess that's really what it will come down to. I mean, I'm always ready to step into that role. I'm always looking to be that role, but it's just the development piece in terms of actually putting the action together to do that. And that's something that I need to work on in terms of, not continuously in that kind of like rookie mindset, but more so moving towards not a veteran mindset, but one that is a ball player, one that is a team, one that is a leader. more so a warrior, one that's in that mindset. And I'm looking forward to definitely stepping into that kind of role and being that guy for the team and being that guy for the linebacker group as well.
Two things real quick, JOK. When you do look back on this season, would you maybe have a little bit of a laugh about some of the little things that went on, including the weight room accident, getting kicked in the shin? It just seemed like you had a few little not super serious things, but will you try to laugh about some of this stuff that went on a little bit?
Not necessarily laugh, but more so take it as a sign to be, more into what we would call in college is one of the traits. The traits is attention to detail, and more. And I guess that comes with becoming that veteran or becoming that leader is that you're really attentive and intuitive of the things that's around you and the understanding of how to tackle and these things to overall help your health. And I think that comes with experience. And I think this year was a good experience year to be able to see all these freak things happen and say, okay, well, if I get off of this, pull-up bar this way, or if I push this guy out of bounds this way, I can maneuver a certain way. So it's just all a learning lesson. Maybe a couple of giggles, but not really, just not to laugh at something that necessarily put me out the game.
Hey, Jeremiah, I think you used this phrase earlier about like the game slowing down for you when you're a rookie. I guess what's that process like? I mean, do you notice when it's happening as things you're picking up more things, and I guess just what's it like for you mentally?
Yeah. Well, it's just it's a process that takes steps. It's pre-snap, during the snap, and then it's post-snap. All those things contribute to the next play or contribute to what you're doing. Or how you improve. So the process is just really looking at the smaller things to overall equal the masterpiece of it all. So I mean, I don't necessarily have a specific process that I may go through, in terms of during the play. During the play, you don't really think about much. You have to do your assignment, and I think that's the goal really. Is you practice so much and you train so much that once you get inside of the play or inside of the game, you don't have to necessarily think that much. And that's really the goal, even going into next year, is just to study enough, to practice enough, to be able to, know enough to just go into the game and just be free flowing and play.
Hey, Jeremiah, you kind of alluded to this before. Was it tough? Did you find yourself biting your lip or anything? You seem like a teammate that I certainly would want to hear from. Were you hesitant in speaking up at times just because you said before that, that sometimes there is a rookie mindset that takes over or what have you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think if I'm being honest, yeah. But it's not just the rookie so-called mindset, but it's also just knowing it's a time and a place for everything. If a guy that is of high years and a guy that's of high stats,
back in 30.
Specifically saying something that may be wrong or does something that may be wrong, you're not going to, try to yell at him or rebuke him in front of the entire team. But much rather, you may want to put him to the side after, like, hey, you kind of taught us this and you kind of did this. And like, should I continue to do that or should I continue to do this? So it's more so of like, biting my lip for the sake of the time and may say something after. So it's just a time and a place for everything as it pertains to that.
Good stuff from JOK there. Rumpke Waste Recycling, family owned and operated. Whether you join them as a customer or as an employee, you'll become part of the family. Visit rumpke.com to learn more. Gibbe next. Good night, nurse. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. It's Beau Bishop from my friends at EOX Vantage. EOX Vantage connects core systems that don't talk, from reporting and analytics to insight and decision-making. Gain a more complete real-time picture of your business. Eliminate the Excel nightmares from business processes and visualize your important data in one place. You can gain real-time insight to make data-driven decisions on performance through role-based visualization dashboards. With EOX Vantage, you can benefit from lower overall costs, better alignment between technology and specific business needs, scalability, ease of deployment, and management. EOX Vantage is going to make your data work smarter and better for you to push your business forward. Your software should be about growth. With EOX Vantage, it can be. Your company is going to scale effortlessly. Local presence with global footprint, trusted by some of the world's biggest brands, and a 2021 Cleveland Plain Dealer Top Workplace winner. And with that, we begin the trial of Gibbe, presiding over the Honorable Judge Bishop. Our prosecutor, Mr. Zegura,
Yes.
you have the first witness. Mr. Gibbs, you are on the stand. Proceed, sir, Mr. Zegura.
First of all, Gibbe, what a treat, what a pleasure, what a video, which has gone viral, quite frankly. Your video from vacation, getting ready, let's go. Chesty Gibbe, already ready. Chesty vacation Gibbe, no less. First of all, how is your vacation going?
No, this is a court of law.
We're trying to set the barometer for his truth-telling. How's your vacation going?
Sustained.
Going well, boys. How we all doing? 75 and sunny.
Not
It's
here.
snowing up there.
Not here. No,
Gibbe.
it's not that here. But yesterday there was a comment that was made by a Gibbe loyalist. And
Gibbe
when I say
loyalist.
loyalist, I mean, I don't know. I've never even seen anybody be as loyal to anybody as Katie Prefer is to you, Gibbe, because we got into a discussion yesterday about the on-air light. She flat out rejected it because she goes, whatever Gibbe says, that's my opinion. Now, later on in the show, she's going to have an opportunity, Katie Prefer will, to choose the side of goodness or badness. But that's neither here nor there. She made a comment in her defense of you and really an attack on us that she attributed to you. And so we're just going to come out and ask you, did you or did you not say that running the board during our show amounts to, and I quote, glorified babysitting, end quote?
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, Mr. Gibbs, has
guilty.
He has agreed to the charges in front of him. Bailiff, please take him back.
Take him away.
Take him away.
Look.
Mr. Gibbs, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes, that's hurtful.
I'll take in your brazenness in sentencing.
Look, here's the deal. Number one, there was a laundry list of instructions on how to run the show and then upload the show, produce it post-show, and it could be a little overwhelming. So
Yeah.
I was doing my best to ease fears and saying, hey, it's like glorified babysitting. You're good. You're safe.
You're safe.
Safe, pal.
You're safe.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
You're safe.
It's unreal.
We're Big B
Unreal.
broadcasters, not Big B babies.
Well, I don't know. I'm on your show right now, and I'm on vacation. So I'm not sure about the Big B.
You're a
part yet.
legend.
We'll see.
By the way,
privilege.
We'll
we
see
were.
how the segment goes here.
Why were you ignoring us?
Because I'm on vacation.
Yeah, but we're funny. We sent you some great material.
Well, I'm pretty sure you guys think you're funny right now.
Not you. Does Mrs. Gibby like us? Does she enjoy
Yeah,
us?
is she enjoying our banter?
But she enjoyed the video. She's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm shooting a video here in advance of my segment."
It's gone viral.
She's good. She's living her best life.
Let me ask you this, Gibby. At what hour was the first PBR popped? And when did that happen? When was it cracked?
Any shower
You know
beers?
what? I number one, being responsible and knowing that I had an on-air segment, I was not doing anything until about 2:15.
Veteran
that
move.
Being said, there are 2 Coronas and a frozen margarita slushie waiting for me at the table right now.
Yeah, there are.
Yes.
Yes. So is that just
And
like
they will all
left
be gone
hand
before 2:45?
left hand pop the slushy and then wash it down with a Corona?
Yes, of course, because the slushie has a time limit on it.
It does, right? And it's in the
You
heat
have to
right
be
now.
aggressive.
It's melting. All right. Yeah.
It is in the sunshine. It's you got to do what you got to do here.
So Gibbe,
So,
we enter the.
You know, I mean, we were up early this morning, opening up the in-laws' place and getting stuff done so we could have a few hours of pool time and a little sun. You know,
God bless
it's a beautiful day.
I've seen
well
Gibbe.
deserved.
I've seen Gibbe at pool time. There was one time when we were down in Tampa, and Deacon. I'm pretty sure Deacon, maybe Jim were poolside. Me and Gibbe were frolicking, throwing the ball around, and and swimming around, and then the skies turned black in 5 seconds, and it was just like a deluge. We were trapped. So I hope that doesn't happen today. But Gibby in a pool is pure joy. I mean,
of course,
it's phenomenal.
Gibby here is pure joy. Him on vacation. Come on,
vacation, unfettered.
So I literally was. I was in a plane the entire time during the show yesterday.
You missed a great one.
And it's bing, 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 bing. My phone's just going. I'm like, oh God, what happened? What's going on? And then I'm like, oh, it's just my host
being idiots,
getting crazy with a cheese whiz.
Have you? I think it would be fun on vacation after post pops. Maybe just roll segment 2 from yesterday back and just kind of kick your feet up and
like
enjoy
a 120, like something around 120.
I think it goes without saying that Katie Prefer deserves a promotion. I mean,
oh jeez,
buttering her up. Listen, her decisions at the end of the show. Her decisions at the end of the show.
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, her father is a very loyal human being and very honorable. Why wouldn't she have those same traits and qualities?
I don't know.
It's not necessarily the loyalty that needs to be questioned, but who the loyalty resides with.
That's right.
That is the question.
Yeah.
No, her loyalty. Hey, I appreciate it. I didn't tell her to. She can come up with her own opinion.
Yeah, you don't want to back the Beck brothers. You want to back Dutton.
All I know is she backed the right horse. Good job by her.
Listen, it's still yet to be determined. She's taken a night to think about it.
She's got about 53 minutes. Well, not quite. 50, about 50. A little less than 50 minutes to make her decision.
It's going to be part of so much more to come. Her decision is
so much more to come
today.
Then you better give yourselves more than like 30 seconds coming out of that at the end.
Nah, we're fine. That's all you need. All right. So we had a tie in over-unders.
Well.
Wow.
The over-unders continue.
That's a shot at you, Bishop. I believe that's a shot at you, Beau.
I don't believe so. We're so aligned right now. We've never been more aligned.
We've never been more aligned.
That's right.
All right, over-unders, playoff edition, Gibby. Let's get you in and get you out of here so you can enjoy your Coronas and your cocktails. All right, so we're using the entire playoffs here. So there's a lot of different things that we have. This is going to be chaos.
This is going to be like the scene where Galifianakis is looking, numbers are going back and forth. That's going to be Gibby down in Florida right now.
Segment we do during the year.
All right, same, right, exactly. All right, number one.
It's the same thing.
Z, you go first. You're going first on these. I believe you have. I believe you have the tee box on these.
Thank you.
Number one, total games this weekend decided by a field goal or less. Total games this weekend, 6 games decided by a field goal or less. We are looking
7 games. 6 or 7 games. 6 games.
6.
2 tomorrow, 3 Sunday, 1 Monday.
Same amount of teams in both made it. Has to be an even number.
I prefer the odd. And there's a wild card. Maybe we could be in the playoffs.
There's a side playoff that's going in the CFL. Let's call that one.
There could have been a toilet bowl game where, like, if there was relegation, you could have like Alabama. You could have Georgia be playing against,
Georgia against the Jaguars,
against the Jags.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, so 6 games given. Total games decided by a field goal or less. 2.5, Zegura. 2.5, a field goal or less.
God, this is a good one. Great number by you, as always. You're at the top of your game. It's the playoffs. Playtime's over. I think there are going to be some close games. I really do. But a field goal, 4, that's the Vegas zone. I think we're going to slide some in the 4 range. I'm going under.
Gimme?
Same. Under.
Oh. Follow me, don't follow me. I've got my orange crush. Jeez, a little REM for the kids
really
right there.
Exciting.
Thank you.
All right, Gibby.
I once shared a bottle of wine with Michael Stipe after a concert backstage.
Of course you did. This is who you're going to go with?
This
a
is
guy
the
who
show.
has more
this
stories
is the show.
than anybody. She's not even paying attention. She's missing.
She's not.
She's tuned out to your segment, Gibby. I don't know what that
fair.
means for you, but she is tuned out. She was locked in, and as soon as Gibby comes on, tune out.
I feel tune out other than when on air, tuned out.
It's fair to
probably
say.
fair.
It usually takes about 3. Hey, Katie, come get on the air. Yeah. No, press that button. Unbelievable.
Gibby.
Listen, if she's babysitting right now, we've jumped in a pool.
Oh, we're gone. Yeah, Bootsy's driving the car.
Bootsy's, he's driving
gone.
the Tesla.
He's driving. He's down the road.
He's out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, he's double-clicking. He's gone. All right.
Oh, boy.
That kid would thrive down here right now, by the way.
Oh,
God,
where wouldn't he?
Can you imagine if you just took him on vacation, and like single Gibby taking him on vacation would have just been gold.
Oh,
I want to see Gibby walking the beach with Bootsy and one of those harnesses where, the people have kids like in the harness leaches and just kind of letting him lead the way around the beach, introductions to conversations and whatnot. That'd be amazing.
The funnier would be if Bootsy was leading, if Gibby was leading, and Gibby was in the thing and Bootsy was at him on the beach.
You could see it.
That would be strong.
Like the movie The Toy.
That would be very strong. All right, here you go. We're looking for total yards. Jimmy Garoppolo, Elijah Mitchell, total passing and rushing yards. Over under total passing and rushing yards for Dak and Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, boy.
There's a lot to that one.
Oh, boy.
Jeez, that is long. I tuned out halfway through.
Don't
Garoppolo and Mitchell passing and rushing yards. Over under, not receiving for Mitchell, just rushing. Over under Dak and Zeke.
Yep.
They're under Zach and Dak. Or Zeke and Dak.
Same.
Nerd.
Oh, gosh.
Nerd.
Follow me.
Nerd. This is the most storied rivalry in the history of the NFC, Nate. I've had many Spamonis. I've had many coffees. And all of them say, Niners. Jimmy G. Elijah. Over.
Next.
Over or under?
So did he go under or over?
He went over.
I've taken.
Over.
I'm on Garoppolo.
He's on
and
Garoppolo.
Elijah.
You're on Dak.
And that's just
Zeke.
because I think Zeke's going to give you 0.
Maybe.
Total interceptions thrown all games, all weekend. The number is 8.5.
Ooh, I love this one. Whoever came up, Beau, you're really firing on all
School's
cylinders.
firing today.
It's hot.
It's happening.
Woo!
Total interceptions
Over.
thrown, all 6 games, 8.5.
Over. That's 1.5 a game.
Yeah, over. I'm following that. Yeah, over. And there's a lot of math going on, a lot of things in my head.
Yeah, this is good.
That I am unable
We're
to
challenging
comprehend
Vacation
right
Gibbe, right? Oh, just wait. There are more coming that are going to challenge you.
I'm sure. I'm sure you haven't seen them already.
Or under?
He goes, I'm sure you haven't seen them already. I have. There's integrity in over-unders.
There is.
No,
well, the fact that it's still going on maybe calls that into question. But again,
erroneous.
Actually, no, I was thinking the exact opposite. Because of that, I have to retract that statement.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd like to sing a song from Burt Bacharach. What the world?
Okay, Gibbe, this
now
one's you.
It's
actual
Gibbe, Chesty Gibbe. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Always hated that song. Now I'm rooting for Gibbe.
What?
Over the average over-under, all games combined. So we'll add the scores up from all of them. The average.
We'll divide by 7.
And divide by 7 to get our number. 47.5.
7, so I'm going to think that.
47.5
on the over-under?
Yeah, for all games combined.
Is this me leading this off?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. That's what the silence is, the dramatic pause.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could be looking up. I don't know what numbers you would possibly be looking
exactly.
up.
There's nothing to look up here.
There's nothing to look up.
Yeah.
You got a cold game in Buffalo. 9
you
degrees.
Got a rainy. It's supposed to rain here all day Sunday. They said the weather might be better in Philly than it is here.
Jeez. Don't like to hear that for
I don't
Vacation
want that of
Gibbe.
you.
Well, don't worry. That just means day drinking moves indoors.
This is who you're backing? Kate, did you hear this?
47.5.
Just say a word. Over or under?
I'm going to go under.
Really
I'm
good.
under.
That was an incredible amount of thought and
Incredible
pondering.
segment.
What do you have?
That's an incredible
my
segment.
brain actually hurts from all that math in my head.
I'm not doing any math. I just like to root for the over, so over.
Over. Next.
Over or under?
It's a high number, though, by the way. Like, to think that 6 games are going to average 48 points is outrageous.
Well,
I need a barn burner.
I mean, the actual over-unders are between 44 and 51.
Yeah, it's like 46.
So it's right in there.
Yeah, it's right on the number.
You're right at the middle.
Yeah.
Good job by you.
All right.
State school.
Total touchdowns accounted for. Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford, over or under Kyler and Mahomes.
This is a good one. This is another good one. I really like this one.
My
Burrow and Stafford. Burrow's hot, folks.
Over.
He's a hot tamale.
All right, he has Burrow and Stafford. Who do you got, Gibby?
Yeah, I got Burrow and Stafford as well.
You followed me every single one.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he did. He
Yes.
did.
I opposited him
opposited
twice.
and he followed you.
me every
Yeah.
time.
Gibby, have a great
Keep the
vacation.
good times rolling, kids.
Enjoy your vacation.
Gibbe, I can't wait to hear.
Much deserved.
Yes.
May the beers flow like the wines of Capistrano.
A beautiful sentence. Gibbe, how many people have already Gibba'd you and know that now that you're down? I'm sure everybody in Florida listens to shows like they're on Gibby watch.
I want you. So we get on the plane yesterday.
Yes, I love it. I knew it.
And
I knew it.
I get my in-laws situated, and they're up in the front. They're VIPs. My wife.
You're the
my wife
VIP.
gets us in the
Very important producer.
The wife gets us exit row. Perfect. Lots
Great.
of leg room.
Yep.
Some guy sits down and he goes, "Hello, Gibby."
Yes. Hello, Gibby.
My wife and he goes, "Can we talk about what happened to our football team for the last 3 months?"
No.
And I look at my wife and I'm like, "We're gonna need some alcohol."
o'clock in the
Someone on the
morning.
plane that can give
Step
me
into
some
Gibby's
alcohol.
therapy. Barkeep. A couple shots. for
Glenn,
Gibby.
any Glenn will do.
But at
Yes.
first, I was a little concerned that this was going to be a very long flight. Luckily, it did not become that.
Hello, Gibby.
Hello, Gibby.
Enjoy your vacation, brother.
Yes.
Much deserved.
Gibby.
Gentlemen, enjoy your long weekend. We will talk to you again at some point. I'm sure I'll talk to you at some point this weekend.
No, you'll just ignore us, which is what
Probably
you've been
so
doing.
far. Yeah, it's like 10 texts not returned. Is that what you want out of somebody, that you're pledging your loyalty? They might not even respond to you? We'll be responsive.
Yeah, I mean, if it's life and death, I can't help you. I'm in Florida. Like,
Valid.
there's
That's
not
valid.
much I can do.
I'm pretty sure
It wasn't
anybody
necessarily
who-
life or death.
If anybody
You'd
saw
like-
the gifts we sent you, they would not think they were of
It's
life,
not life or
and
death.
No.
Important.
A lot of life. A lot of life.
Enjoy yourself, sir. Talk to you soon, brother.
Much love to Katie Prefer. And Baco,
Oh,
fine
buttering
stuff.
her up.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
All right.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Coming up
All
in
right,
a
kids.
coming up in a few minutes, we will get you to the scores. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. OBM, Ohio Business Machine, preferred computer provider of your Cleveland Browns. They have all the X's and O's for your office. Call 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. I usually am not on the social much while doing the show, but in that break, the lovely Miss K. There is, you remember that? What was that where they would go, there she is, Miss America.
Yeah, Miss America.
That is, but that song, you know?
Yeah, the pageant.
But there was a show that was in. That
I just
somebody
think
had that
people
show.
just did it all the time.
They just do it. Like
Yeah.
I feel like anytime Miss K walks anywhere in the building, that should follow the the instrumental version.
Yeah.
Should just follow her as she enters a room.
I have no problem.
No
with that.
Rob.
She's worthy of it.
Agreed. Cosign. I was saying. So I usually am off the social during the show, so I engaged in the program and not distracted by nonsense. But every once in a while in the break, you will. Every once in a while in the break,
Huge.
I will go and check out and see what's happening. And Brown's Therapy's having a day.
He's having a day. Apparently, there's more on the way.
He's got more in the work.
That's the word on the street.
What is your? We'll have the Katie Prefer reveal at the end of the show in terms of her loyalties to us or to Gibbe. What is your sense of that now?
Like where she's going?
Yeah, 40 minutes coming out of a hot segment from Gibbe.
I think she's fully locked into Team Gibbe. It's sad to see, but it just is what it is. And it's one of those things that's like, last night I contemplated it, but tonight I'm just not going to lose sleep on. We can only, the truth of the matter is I believe the children are our future.
That's true.
If we teach them well, show them, we'll let them lead the way.
Let them lead the way. Yeah.
But I don't know if this makes me question that theory.
Yeah. It's a little bit, I think, a lot like those who hitched their wagon to Stannis Baratheon. I mean, I think there's that type of setup here. Is it seems like a good idea,
and then
because there's
thing
titles and there's head honchos and feels like he's a king. That seems
he says
like
he's the king.
He says he is. He talks about it a lot.
Yeah, and then
I am the true king, and he's always
roasting
saying,
his daughter at the spit.
I'm the head honcho. All of this.
Yeah,
right.
There's a lot of that.
I'm the boss. There's a lot of that, but
there's even some Mance Raider to him, King of the North, like king above north of the wall.
Yeah.
Like thinking, oh, I have this cool little ragtag empire over here. Come on and join it.
Join the ragtag empire.
Turns out it's not that great.
Not
north
great.
of the wall.
No, it's really cold.
No, but where we are, which would be the equivalent of King's Landing in this.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
We're living pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. We'll see.
Did you watch Game of Thrones, Katie?
No.
Go with
just go with
just go with Gibby. Just do it. Just do it. We're out. We're out. We're out. Well, we'll let you make the decision.
Katie Prefer stock.
It's been, when they halt trading.
Yeah, stop. Shut it down.
Shut down. Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
You can't trade anymore. It's too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
Too volatile.
You guys are making it really hard for this to go your direction.
Yeah, but we've already
we
punted.
We punted.
We punted. We sold the stock.
We're out.
It continues to.
We're
already out.
We're
bathing in gold coins like Scrooge
constant
McDuck.
Constant needling of us.
Yeah.
Babies.
Right, noted.
Yeah.
There's a chance for
we're
you
back,
to save
Mortimer.
yourself, though. We can't. Right now, it's like certain things where you have to come and you say, I want to. No. And you have to keep. No. Okay, you've shown the results. So that's where you're at right now. It's not, the red carpet is no longer rolled out. You're going to have to knock at the door. Guys, I'm in. But with persistence, perhaps there's a path for you.
We'll see. It's in your hands.
It's sad that it's gotten here.
Why? You told me Baco drove on the most dangerous road
That's
in
right.
the world?
That's what we're doing now. Baco Nation, the ears of Baco Nation are tuned to Browns Daily right now.
Baco, Zegura's telling me you drove on the most dangerous road.
Since we last had Baco on the program.
It's been a while.
Married.
So. Jeez.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
Of November, Thanksgiving weekend, married the beautiful now Christy Baco.
So Christy Baco. Bravo. Just flows off the tongue, doesn't it?
I love that. Sounds perfect.
It does.
Instagram name was available too, so we're all right.
Well, how could there be another Christy Baco?
Nothing had showed the difference in our age to theirs than that line right there.
We found it.
Well,
Yeah.
I was excited about that.
I'm excited. About that.
Instagram name was
Honeymoon.
I can tell you, I didn't think that didn't cross the mind.
Honeymoon in Hawaii.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, it was fantastic. Beautiful weather. It was best vacation I've ever been on. First time being
Look
out
at him
there.
smile. He's glowing.
So happy.
He's glowing.
The newlywed
Wedded
glow.
bliss. Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. This is beautiful. And so your
Today,
contention
love
is the most
wins.
dangerous road in the world is in Hawaii?
Yeah,
That's fact?
It's top 10, yes. And
Okay.
there have been many deaths that have been on this road. There was one even a couple years ago. There was a fresh cross that was on the side of the road, which is
Oh,
sad.
those are always sobering.
Yeah, it's very sad, but yeah, it was scary.
So you're on
So
your
is
honeymoon.
Is it like up a volcano?
So the north side of the island of Maui, that's where we were.
Of course,
there's
baller.
these olivine pools, which is these little pockets of water that almost look like pools that are surrounded by rocks right into the ocean, and they have a bunch of signs before you even get to there saying, don't go there. A lot of people have died here too, and it's scary. But, I mean, it's an awesome view, and it's like you're literally in a pool surrounded by the ocean, and it's awesome. But then a little bit further around there, there's a road that's roughly 2 miles, but it takes you over 2 hours to get through because you have to go 5 miles an hour for it. And it's supposed to be 2
That's how
lanes,
dangerous
but
it is.
it's
5 miles an hour.
Only one lane for your car. And two, if someone's coming the other direction, you guys are facing each other, and somebody has to go backwards for
I'm going to tell you,
quarter of a mile
they
until
need to
there's
change
a
this
little
rules.
gap to get over.
Yeah, you got to have a burro here.
It was
a
terrible.
mule or a burro, a horse. A car is not.
No, walking it, that's one thing.
A
But it
burro
was
would be ideal.
absolutely terrifying.
So sure-footed.
They're so sure-footed.
The most.
Yeah.
You can even go to the Google Images. You know how you could drop that person, and they have, like, I guess a Google car had one around that road, so you can virtually do it.
I'm doing that in the
safely.
break.
But yeah, it is terrifying.
So he was there.
The views are fantastic. but
They were
I
going,
will say.
and then you said, look, we're newlywed. We have our whole lives ahead of us.
God bless you.
We're out.
Well, and on top of that, when we drove on the road, we didn't know what was happening, and we were already on it. We're like, all right, what's happening? And then you have to go down, and then you go up the other side, and then there were 3 cars on the other side, 2 of them going down, 1 of them going up. In that situation, they met head to head, and the one person that was going up had to go reverse all the way down. The other car had to go reverse around this mountain, and so they were there for about 25, 30 minutes. So we had to.
And movements are magnified in reverse. Like your turns, you turn fast, and then you're off the cliff.
Yeah, very fast. I mean, it was awesome. Definitely a wonderful experience.
What was your favorite thing that you ate in Hawaii?
My favorite thing I ate. I had at Monkey Pod. It's a wonderful restaurant.
I like that
they
name.
had
I do like
I want
that
a
name.
T-shirt from
lobster
that place.
linguine, and it was fantastic.
It was delightful. Was the pineapple just even better there?
Christy had a lot of the pineapple. I'm not a big pineapple guy, so. No.
Wait a second. You're shaking your head. Why?
I'm allergic.
Oh. Sad. I find it to be the number 1 fruit in the world.
It is your number 1. I do know that. All right, good stuff, Baco. Congratulations.
Tremendous.
Congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
The
Guys,
scores.
appreciate it.
The scores coming up next.
7 games.
Oddly.
Weird.
You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. For a running back, getting extra yards is great, but ball security always the first priority. For gamblers, keeping priorities straight also important, so make sure all your bills are paid before you spend money on fun stuff like gambling. Get more tips like this at keepitfunohio.com. You know, it just occurs to me we don't even have the scores. Like you and I don't.
So I'll do a hand signal to you.
You have them?
I've got them.
I was actually going to do them for
Oh,
you guys.
beautiful.
You're in. So
There
you got
we
it.
go. Tag in.
So what do we, Nick? What do we have from a how did we end up in the regular season? The regular.
So I do not have those stats.
but I
on
wonder
us.
who does.
I do. So last week of the season, 9-7 for me. 7-9. Did you have that for you? Is that where you were?
Yeah, it was
7-9 for you. So for the season, I'm at 36 over 500. You are at 34 over 500, or as I like to say, we're combined 70 games over 500. Our fourth consecutive.
Not bad.
Very profitable. That's every single game with the scores.
Think, if you'd have just taken this and then just done with it what you could have done.
Yeah.
$1 million a game, you're up.
Probably would have owned the station.
Yeah, you're up many millions.
Well, at this point in time, I probably would have.
Yeah, you would
definitely would have owned my home by now. Probably had a second one.
Well, for sure. Lake house. Yeah.
Yeah. Could have a ranch in Montana.
That'd be nice as well. So what did we settle on 7 or 8 games? How many games did Gibby want to do today?
Gibby with a very strong,
Going
actually
with an odd number.
Interrupted me saying 6 to tell me that there were 7 games this weekend, which is hard to do.
He was correcting
in
you.
a 2-conference setup. That one conference would have more games than the other. That would be a rarity in the history of sport.
It would
not ideal.
Odd.
Yeah, that would make it very difficult from an advancement standpoint. Advancing into a bye, I don't know if there's precedent in that in a playoff situation.
Yeah, I really don't think so. But let's get started with the first game of the playoffs. It's going to be the Raiders at Bengals Saturday, 4:30 on NBC.
Yeah, and we're looking at Cinco here.
The idea, this is what's beautiful, is the idea that we can't because, forever the league couldn't.
I think things are different now.
Things are clearly different now, but it's more fun to act like they're not.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, looking at getting out of here that way. Even a third
What is
coat,
this
really,
jacket over? He's got a starter, a green starter jacket?
That's got to be
Is that a
St.
Kelly
Ed's?
green?
What has he got? A St.
Oh, boy. Peak Larry Bird. Dennis Johnson. Let's go. Wow. That's a beaut.
That's an old school starter.
Yeah, that's circa 87.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. As I was saying, in the beginning, when we first started this, I said, we really should pick these and use the scores to do this, which added so much fun and makes it far more difficult. But then the idea that we think it's probably loosened up a little bit. We've kept the scores. We don't ever reference the scores other than giving our scores. And the idea that you think that if by speaking that in Spanish, that would be confusing.
Listen.
Like everyone's seen Sesame Street.
I fe hot day.
I don't understand. I don't know what you're doing. You're doing it wrong.
Well, I thought we were going to have – so normally Gibbe does this in the break. He'll run through the list, and then we never have to speak it on air.
Yeah.
But we were going to go 5.5, 4.5, 8.5, Trace?
15. 14.
I don't even know what 12 is.
Oh, gosh, that's fun. That's fun.
12.5 and 4.
All right, very good. 12.5. All right, so we've got
Katie's. I think now she's going to be clamoring to be a part of this operation.
She has to convince us now.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
so
more open
Cincinnati
to it
at
than I was
home.
10 minutes ago.
Cincinnati at home.
Yeah.
They've waited a long time. 1991. 1991 was the last time the Cincinnati Bengals won a playoff game.
Yeah, they never won one in the whole Marvin Lewis era, despite participating in quite a few.
They won the division several times. The Palmer year with the Kimmy von Oelhoffen hit on the knee, which a lot of people down there felt like that was their year to win it. Was that year that that was a game in Cincinnati.
I feel like they also played a lot of the first game on Saturday against the Texans during this run.
Steady diet
like a
of
lot.
1 o'clock Saturday against Houston. There was a lot of that. A lot. That was the Dalton
Watt
era.
pick sixes. Yeah.
Yes, that was that. There's no question.
But here, funny enough, now that there isn't a 1 o'clock on Saturday, they're back though. They are the kickoff game once again, but now they're much more exciting.
Yeah, they're far more exciting. Here's the deal: Vegas's last 4 games all been decided by about a field goal. They've kind of inched their way in. Cincinnati, Wyatt, it is rolling, in the words of Doc Holliday. Wyatt, it is rolling.
And you'd have to say, though, if it comes down to a kicker, McPherson injured, missed the last game.
Yeah.
Carlson is, other than Tucker, you're like, okay, yeah, you want
He's
that guy
option
kicking
2.
your field goals.
Yeah, and they've benefited tremendously from that. I really like Cincinnati. I like how they're playing. I think that it's going to be as much as difficult as it is with Crosby coming around the edge. I like Cincinnati big in this one. Cincinnati 34, Vegas 20.
I am with you. Cincinnati is on fire right now.
Yep.
And I think that heater that they're on, oh boy, it's going to continue. And you know what they say in Vegas? You never walk away from a heater.
Never.
Bengals, 5 million and 5.
Oh, God.
Raiders.
No, you're not.
5 million flat.
Wow. You're going with all those trends from this week. That's what you're going to do. You're going to see if the trends continue.
Next, the Patriots. Bill Belichick is
Baco's out. He couldn't even believe that pick. The scores. Listen, that means I crushed the overs.
Well, there you go. You got to crush the overs there.
One of the others.
Bill Belichick and the Patriots are heading to Buffalo to play a home game for Josh Allen.
You know, in this one, 9 degrees, Josh Allen's being prescribed many different remedies by various former athletes that I don't know if they lend themselves to great football. It's cold. He doesn't like the cold. This feels kind of like the game where they're going to run it a lot. Bills, tight. 29. 25.
Oh, my gosh. You're doing it. You're following the trends. And probably the smart thing to do. There's quite a bit of historical data here. I think this was the game that Belichick threw it 3 times.
That's right.
They threw it 3 times.
And then the good weather, they got slumped.
It's absolutely slump city. Here's the deal. It's cold, but there's no wind or precipitation. There's no wind or precipitation, so Allen ought to be able to spin it a little bit. And I think New England's going the wrong way. I like Buffalo in this one, 20-13.
You've convinced me. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. I'm back. See you later, Bill.
Quick
official
little,
change right there. Official change.
Official change.
We're in agreement.
Quick little bet. 30.5 and a half passing attempts for Mac Jones.
30.5 under.
He did 30. I think he had 14 completions, 32 attempts in their slumping from a month ago.
I don't think it's going to be a motorboat. I think it's going to be. Not a lot of possessions. I don't think you're going to get a little motorboat situation here.
I think you're right. It's
Yeah,
more of a cruise.
I think it's a cruise.
I think
yeah.
we're on like a pontoon.
Yeah, you're cruising for comfort. I think that's where it's at.
On the pontoon boat, just chilling.
Just chilling.
That's right.
All right, those were the Saturday games. Sunday games, the 1 o'clock game. The Philadelphia Eagles face the Super Bowl champs Buccaneers. It is a 1 o'clock game on Fox.
Just an interesting stat I wanted to throw out. I know it's your turn to go first.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Last year, the Bucs, I think, had 9 of their 11 defensive starters played 70% of the snaps or more. This year, it's 2.
Yeah.
They've been decimated. Just putting that out there. Oh, who is it? Who is it?
Bootsy.
Is that Jalen?
Bootsy, who's at the back door?
Is it Jalen?
Oh, it's Jalen Hurts, natural leader.
Oh, natural
leader. Better than people realize.
Do you know that he's tied for the most games with multiple rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a player's first 4 seasons with 5, and he's only played 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So he's gonna set the record.
Yes.
Also of note, Eagles legend Brian Westbrook has just authored a children's book, positive mojo for the Eagles.
Oh, I like it. I do. I love the Eagles in this one. I love
Fly,
the
Eagles, fly, baby.
Eagles, fly. A lot of injuries with the Bucks.
Yes, too many.
Too many
They'll win.
injuries. Tampa Bay 31, Philly 24.
Same.
The second game of the day, the 49ers versus the Cowboys, a 4:30 kickoff on CBS.
Nate.
Dad, when I was a kid, my fondest memories are very much of Steve Young and finally conquering the Cowboys in 1994. It was such a joyous moment for me, Dad. I hope we can relive that. The greatest moment between the 49ers and Cowboys.
Nate, we were at Jim Dan's house for that game. Unfortunately, Jim's not with us.
Jim
and
Dan?
he would want to hear you. Chemistry teacher at Merle Catholic High School, Jim Dan. Yes, very smart man.
I love two first names for a
Oh,
first and last.
you've got to love it. Kind of like Jeff George. Maybe that's why I liked him too. But I'll tell you what, that was not your favorite Browns memory or 49ers memory, Nate. Not by a long shot. That's the one we call the Forgotten Ring. That's why when you watch Joe's show on Peacock, you hear no mention of the blasphemous Steve Young, Nate. So we're going to go where the best pizza in the world is. Geary and 19th. Gasparis. We're going to get the old number one, just like we used to do. And you're going to watch me drink my coffee. A victory coffee. Niners, Jimmy G, Debo, Kittle, Elijah. Winners.
Pedro became Macho Man halfway through that.
Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
You gave it a let me tell you some Pedro had a lot of Macho Man in him about halfway through that. Oh, that was great. I had no idea.
Hey, the Browns are going to get it done, okay?
The kid and Mach both
They're all
infiltrating
everybody.
Pedro. Yeah, I'm with you.
Katie's in. Look at her. She's
well, the scores will bring anybody
It
back.
brings anybody.
Look, I like the Niners. I think they win the game too.
Same.
I think it's a really tough matchup for Dallas. Dallas been a weird team for the second half of the year. They were lights out to start. Kind of a quiet year for Amari Cooper. The offense lost its mojo. Zeke not the same player obviously anymore. They have game. The only thing that's interesting about them is their 2 game records on defense can change everything. But Garoppolo in a dome, I like it. I like it a lot. I like the Niners to advance.
Baby.
Yeah, Debo's going to roll in that game. Last game on Sunday, Steelers at Kansas City, 8:15 kickoff.
It's a big score. It's a big score.
Is it me?
It's a big score. Yeah, go.
If The Rock was doing this promo, he would say, Ben Roethlisberger, you want to talk about going one-on-one
No, you can't
with
do
the
it.
great one? With I almost had a
Even
little
The Rock-
botch in there.
even The Rock is botched.
Know your role. Shut your mouth because you're going to the corner of Know Your Role Boulevard and Jabroni Drive, and we're checking you right in to the Slumptown Hotel, baby. Ram it.
Ram it on that one. Yeah, I'm with you. It's I
It's a
kind of
lock.
wonder. I kind of
It's a
wonder
lock.
if you'd almost wonder like if Roethlisberger would have just been happy to just be done in Baltimore.
I love
like,
his
end with 2 wins and be like, all right, we'll see you on down the road.
Beat the Browns, beat the Ravens
And then
back to
walk
back.
away. All right, great to
Cool.
see you. All right, see you later.
Going out a winner. It's like
Oh,
me and
yeah?
Wordle. I did that today. I
don't even know what that is.
And I'm out.
Oh, yeah? Well, the jerk store called, and they're running out of you. Then you just got to leave. Like, you can't wait for I don't know what they're worried about.
It's
You're the number
fun,
one
though.
bestseller.
It's fun, though. He's like, we have no chance.
Right.
We don't have a chance. But we're going to go play and have some fun.
Yeah, go have some fun.
Yeah. Slumptown, USA.
Yeah.
Population, Ben.
Yeah.
Final game of the weekend. It's a Monday night game. The Cardinals versus Rams. First off, do you guys like the Monday night kickoff?
I like it for my viewing pleasure. I would hate it if I was doing Rams daily or Cardinals daily, despite the incredible weather. Maybe I wouldn't be that upset. But the short week and then having to fly to Tampa, not ideal. I wouldn't be thrilled about that.
No, same.
I think that's pretty brutal to lose a day on that front. I mean, it's a 30-hour difference. If it's the Rams, it's a 30-hour difference on the game. So that's a lot.
Which is massive.
Plus the flight.
Not to mention.
Yeah.
Air
No, I
travel,
don't-
we know.
And
Not what it used to be.
I'm very also curious what the Mannings will do on this because they're doing Manning Cast for this. So, like, are you going to have a bunch of guests? Because one thing that was frustrating watching our game on Manning Cast, especially in the first half when it was still, in question, was that they don't really talk about the game for a while. They get a guest on and they're all off the game, and so you're not. It's a totally different experience. Like, how do you do that with the playoffs?
This is what I want. I want Larry Fitzgerald. I want Kurt Warner. I want Rams and Cardinals-centric people who are also, like Kurt's a full-on broadcaster, who are going to then come in and do the game with them and be invested in the game. We don't need to get into tomfoolery, and we don't need to bring it to a halt. That's what I want.
Yeah, I hope I hope that will be the case. A lot of times, though, the guests will sometimes try to do analyst, and they will steer them into nonsense.
No.
And
let's just focus. It's the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
Let's do it. Let's do it right. Ram it. 31. Cards. 30.
Same, but different. Ram it. True, pure, unadulterated. Ram it. They win big. Everybody's sleeping on them. Matt Stafford's throwing picks. They're not good anymore. They are good.
No, they're still good.
They're good. And they're going to turn it up.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals, I'm not sure, are good.
I don't know that either.
I don't think they are. Ram it. 31. Cards. 26.
If I had to rank the games this weekend that I'm most looking forward to watching, 49ers Dallas
1
would be 1. Cincinnati Vegas would be a high on the list. Arizona LA would
those
be
are
in
my
the
top
mix.
3.
Those would be the 3.
Those are my top
I could
3.
do without New England and Buffalo. I have no real interest in Philly and Tampa Bay, and I think Kansas City, just for the pleasure of watching them drill Pittsburgh, will be fun.
I hope so. That would be a treat.
All right, so much more to come.
The decision.
I think we already know. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850
I think we do
ESPN
too.
Cleveland. read this last note, I would have shown up here Monday.
No.
I would've-
Don't.
I
We're
would've-
off, baby. That's why I said the long weekend.
The long weekend. What a treat.
Yeah.
What a treat. I should have had some foresight to think about doubling up, as if if I had another thing. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Oh,
Good
you're
job.
saying your other is on.
My
this
other's
off.
on, off.
Maybe.
We
Is
can-
Friday too late to send a note?
Yeah, too late.
All right, Katie.
Decision time, Katie.
Katie, the evidence has been presented. The world waits with bated breath.
2 days of greatness you've witnessed.
Yeah. You've seen how it happens.
I mean, I feel like this decision's still up in the air. We talked during the break, and going to Vegas this weekend, I'm going to gamble on it.
You're going to gamble on
Do
it.
you guys want to be black or red?
It's a big thing to gamble with your life, Katie.
It is. To leave it up to a game of chance that's
game of
rigged
chance.
against you? What would happen if it comes up with one of those two things that are neither black nor red?
Well, then, I mean, Team Katie then. Team Babysitters Club.
It's been known.
Babysitters Club. We would have been in a
It's
ditch.
known. It's known.
There it is. It
It's
is known. The
It is known.
decision has been made.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
I can hear. Do you hear that? Sounds like the tears of a helicopter. Must be pretty flying around crying at what's just the opportunity of a lifetime passed by.
Well, he listens every show, so he would
Be safe this
devastated.
weekend.
Yes. Baco, good job out of you.
Baco,
Incredible
tremendous.
contributions today.
What a recanting of the
PT. A little bit of a limp in PT. I don't like to see that.
I don't
Sounded like he had
wanna
a bit
see
of a
that.
limp in him. The
No.
next level's coming up next.
Hitching the giddy up.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Cleveland
Yes.
Browns